Hey guys, Chris here, and we'll do a video today on boundaries with parents, where the line is in terms of you going out of your way to do certain things for them, or also doing things for other people when you don't feel comfortable doing them. You're more doing it because you want to make them happy. You're not putting your needs first. So I'm going to use the example of someone who gave me asked for some advice on something, and it covers this topic of enmeshment, where we talked about, you and your parents don't have strong boundaries, and you're kind of molding into each other's, you're meeting your parents' needs, but you're not thinking of your own. You're not aware of your own needs, and this can then lead to you not being too confident on who you are, and making decisions, and knowing what you really want, and asking for what you want. So it is a really important topic, and if there's things here with parents, it's good to really become aware of it. So I'm going to give you this example. So basically the guy, his mother had texted him saying like, hey, how you doing, all this sort of thing. And this is quite typical, that it's kind of like, how you doing, hope you're well, how's this going? And then it comes at the bottom with sort of a demand, without really an option. So she was basically saying how something in the garden needed fixing. Can you come over and help your dad with it? And he was saying that he thought his dad was more than capable of doing it on his own, and he doesn't know why she's asked him to come over. And he sort of has that role of helping out. His role has been defined of helping his mum, of being there for his mum, and and at the drop of a hat he would go there. And she lives 30 minutes away. He's moved out of the house now, maybe not too long ago as well. So in a way, it's finding excuses for him to come back and be there, and to help out. Kind of like he's the man of the house when he feels his dad can do it. So he's asking all of these questions, and he's got these feelings of, this doesn't feel right. How come I'm having to do this? It doesn't make sense. My dad can do it. He's getting a bit frustrated. But at the same time, what's important to probably understand is if he then starts asserting himself and saying, I don't want to do that, because in his gut he should feel if he feels comfortable doing that or not. And also it's the demand and the language. Can you come over and do this? It's not really suggesting like he has a choice, and saying, would it be okay, we'd appreciate if you could do this, understand you're busy, blah blah blah. It's just not even taking him into consideration at all. So he's right to question that, and until he starts to become a bit more wary, just into his feelings of saying like, this doesn't feel comfortable, I can't do this, I'm sorry, without sort of then doing it. And then what's likely, his mum will come back and say, oh, you should help us out, or all these sort of excuses he's probably got in his head as to why he needs to do it. It's kind of the guilt of, I have to go and do that, and like, oh, it's only just a quick favor, we've done all this for you. These sort of things come out. So what's actually going to happen here, especially if it's an enmeshment or sort of no clear boundaries, and as it's been that for so long, he's likely to get pushback. But he has asserted himself, and as always, you do get some pushback. But you have to lay those boundaries and be strong, and eventually they see where the boundaries are, and maybe they ask again. But this is an example of where the boundaries are not set, and you feel like you have to go out your way to help someone, and he didn't feel comfortable because it's 30 minutes away. He didn't feel he needed to do that, and maybe it's the mother's excuse for them to come round and still be in their world. So until you can become strong and say, look, I'm not doing this, I don't feel comfortable doing this, even calling them out. And I would probably give them a phone call and just say like, it kind of felt when you said that I didn't really have much of an option, I am busy, rather than just doing it and then getting frustrated. And you please your parents, they feel happy, but deep down you don't feel happy long term. And this is again an example of putting somebody else's needs before you. Until you can actually become aware of your own needs and meet those needs, this never changes, and it becomes a soft, and maybe goes around, and his mum, it makes him food and snacks, and tries to keep him like a little boy, and that is appealing, but it has to be broken out of if you want to become your own person, attract a partner that you want to be with, not attract a similar partner who's very demanding and all these sort of things. So I thought I'd share that, and just so you guys know, I've also got a new YouTube channel again on enmeshment. The other YouTube channel, I set up a Gmail address and I forgot it, so I can't log back into it, which I've had to start it again. So if you could subscribe, that'd be great, and I'll bring you more videos on this topic.